Hi Aries, welcome to your May 2018 reading. My name is Donatella and I will be doing your forecast this month. And as you know, the month has already been moving, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to start yours today because I feel like today, more than ever, the energy was really important that I had to do it today. Regardless of when it is landing in the month, I just have to follow that feeling of that energy, and then I do that individual's reading. I have to follow that feeling, and it's when you follow your gut feeling, you know exactly what you're doing. And as I'm saying this to you, you're understanding this now. You're understanding and realizing your gut feeling. You know, the one thing that tells you the good thing, the wrong thing, the right thing. And when I started doing your reading, the energy that I had been picking up is that you're rushing. You're rushing to do this. You're rushing to do that. You're rushing to get this done. And when I was moving my candle to move it outside because it's, so nice and beautiful, the fire had went out. So in my mind, that was like a symbol. That in my soul, that was a symbol to tell you, Aries, that your flame is burning very, very bright, and it's there. It's supposed to be there for it to stay. But make sure that it doesn't it doesn't shine so much that someone ever pulls it away from you. Because though you're a fire sign, as I was moving the candle over, I realized that once it's affected by wind, it could be really affected, and then the flame is put out. So whether it's put out by water, whether it's been put out by earth, whether it's being put out by air, it could really, really be put out if it's not in a controlled environment. So I just want to make sure that you understand that you are balancing your time, and that you never ever have to worry about your flame burning out, and that is something that I want to make sure that you are going to be okay, because that flame gives you passion. That flame has always given you energy. That flame has always given you desire. It has this luster and lure about you, and I don't want you to lose that. But the problem is that no matter what, there's always elements that are around us, and if there's too much wind, it'll put out our flame. If there's too much earth, it'll someone could kick the dirt up and put out your flame. So what you got to do is make sure that it is a controlled flame, within yourself, that as you're following your intuition and making sure that you are following the right path that will never ever hurt you. And this is the month that you're really going to start being, you're going to really realize, as you moved away from your birthday month, you really realized who you were and what you wanted to be and how you wanted to be independent and how you want to structure your life for the next 3 years, because as you move through this progress, there is a end point, and that end point will be on December 17th, 2020. So this is all not going for nothing. The thing is that you need to understand that the energies are going to start. I'm talking so quick because I feel like I need to talk so quick for you. I feel like you don't have time. Okay. There's a lot of hurdles that you're going to go through from that point on, but at that end of that point, it's such a successful feeling. We were meant to break down and collapse at this time. When Scorpio was in Jupiter for this whole year, for 2018, it's supposed to let us know what we're vulnerable, how we're going to be vulnerable. And in the month of May, on the 15th, when it's the new moon, you're really going to want to be honest, and what that does is it brings happiness, it brings truthfulness, and then you're able to be more vulnerable with people. And as long as you're able to open up, then you are able to open up. As long as you're able to open up, then you will see your soul soar higher. It's that when we have to really feel like we're the martyrs, or we've been, that we just feel like we're just devastated and we're hurting. And if there's something that, I'm not saying I want you to go out there and hurt others and attack others, but maybe there's something in your own life that is affecting you, which is causing you to see life in a different view. And when you see life in a different view, we might feel like other people are affected by that same lifestyle, and then we don't want them to go through the same thing, so we tell them not to go through that. So anyways, as I progress, what I want to do is just ensure your safety. I want to make sure that you're okay. I want you to make sure that you have all the energy, that no one ever takes out your flame. I want to make sure that you are going to be okay. And as you go through these months, you're going to realize that there is a lot of hurdles, that there is a lot of things that are going to affect you. But you have to understand that this is, we have to make sure that our life is balanced. There has to be enough elements of everything so that way no one ever you know, affects us or dampers us when we want to celebrate. Because I'm sure there's times that you really want to celebrate and these people cannot be there, and you cannot understand why they cannot be there when you have so much life in you. And it's because of these energies not molding. When these energies are unbalanced, people are incapable of being around others. So we have to make sure that we ensure the balance of energies. And no one should ever put out your flame, but there should also be a balance of other people too, and that allows you to have your own independence, that allows you to go and do whatever you need to do, and allows you to be able to feel safe, because you have your own freedom, that no one would do anything wrong to you as long as you gave them their freedom, you know, because you want your own freedom too, but you want them to understand that, hey, you can have freedom, but you can also be happy too. You know, in a relationship as well, both parties could do exactly what they need to do, but they also need to be focused. They also need to be driven. They also need to be balanced. And it's the unbalance that makes people really go crazy, Aries. And I really want you to understand that. So balance is going to be very important for you this month. And as you go by this month, you've really seen the things that you want to enhance in your life. There's luxury that you want. There's things that you want to buy. You know, there's a goal that you have. So as you go through this, you need to make sure that you no one puts out your flames, because then it's really hard to reach our goals. So the first card that I have is the Knight of Pentacles, and it's reversed. So either you know a Capricorn, a Virgo, or a Taurus, they're not in the best position of your eyesight right now. There's somebody that you cannot get along with, that's either an earth sign, or your financial status is really slow to the point that you feel like it's really hard to progress into the things that you want to do. And what's crossing that is this real feeling of suffering financially, or just, you know, being cold, being like left behind, like outside where people are out in the warmth, like people have been like shielding you out of their homes, or like feeling like an outcast, like you really feel like an outcast, and you're not even sure if it's because of this earth sign that you don't get along with, or you're not sure if it's because of the finances that you don't have enough of, but there's some kind of thing, there's some kind of link that is not balanced here, and it's really making you feel like you've been left out in the cold. And but your main thought is like, how can I progress? How can I achieve my goals? How can I start that new business that I always dreamt of? You know, like I'm getting these huge ideas of what I could do, but I don't know where to start from. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to achieve this goal. Like I really want to do something where I could change the lives of so many people, like even financially, like especially my own. But because I know you're a very generous sign, Aries. You are very giving when you really do have it. And like right now you feel like the friends are gone, the money is gone, and it's not because of the money. And I don't want you to think that. I really don't want you to think that you have to have friends in order to have money. It's never the case. It shouldn't be the case. There's always an extra element to it that we don't understand. And, you know, sometimes it could be like, you know, they owed you money and they never got it back to you. But it's never going to be because you don't look like you're financially stable. Because people... there's a difference right there, where if someone was mad at someone for owing something, then because you don't have the luxury life, that's a totally different thing. And that's not a reason for anyone not to accept you or leave you feeling out in the cold, because through that process people guide each other, and through the love people can evolve and become better and better. But through negative energy, it's very hard to uplift someone. And in the distant past, you just realized that you were very illusioned about the idea of your life that you had. You're now coming into the realization of really how this is, your story, how it's affected you. And before, it did not seem the way that it appears right now. And just in the recent past, you made a wish. And you made a wish that... it's the star card, so it's like wish upon the star, and that wish is something that is going to happen, but as the story is telling me, you know, it is happening. The wish has been put in place. The next card after that is Justice in the reverse. So what this is telling me is that the wish that you want will not aspire until you realize why this justice was reversed. There was something that had happened that was unfair, and which has caused a karmic effect to you currently right now. And it's because of lack of communication. It's because of lack of emotion. And maybe there was some emotion, but there was a lot less communication, is what I feel. Because this is the Justice card. It also represents Libra. And if you know a Libra, you are not getting along with her right now because it is upside down in the future. Or it could be because of something that happened that was not fair to that Libra, or something that happened. If you don't know a Libra, then that means that it was something that happened to you that is not fair. So if there is a Libra that is involved in your life, what you don't understand is that you have not communicated to something that you should have understood. And there was no justice. So there has to be more communication made in order for you to understand more. And then once you have that communication, you will feel more balanced. But as long as you're thinking that everything is right, everything is all good from your end, without that communication, you kind of really don't know what's going on. There's going to be more information later on. But as far as you understand that if it's not fair for you, then obviously it's not fair on the other side too. So there has to be some kind of understanding in the middle. You have to go make that communication with that person. So either this person is the sign of Libra, or it's the person that you feel like they treated you in an unfair way. There is a understanding that both of you don't understand right now. There is a disconnection of understanding right now that once you guys link again, you will understand really what is going on, and things will start transpiring. But there is someone that you need to talk to. It doesn't have to be a lover, Aries. It's someone that you had lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of communication with on a regular basis, and it has stopped. And Libra is an air sign, which is also the sign of communication. So it could also mean that it could be an air sign, but it's someone that was very communicative with you that could not be communicative anymore. And it's because that person either feels that they don't have justice on their side, or it's you that you feel like you don't have justice on your side. But whatever the case is that there needs to be some communication made. And after that communication is made, you're going to realize that this person was actually a good person, that you needed to stay in that relationship because that really was a good relationship. As far as friendship too, like this was an honest communication that was completely misunderstood. That if there was more communication, would have been no misunderstanding. You would have been fine. But there were other parties that were involved, and those parties were never communicated with. You stuck to yourself. You didn't want to talk to them, and because you didn't talk to them, everything just fired over. Everything just engulfed over, and when you realize that the communication needs to take place, and it's going to happen sometime between mid-May to June, most likely it's going to probably be by like the 29th, I'm thinking, because on the 15th you're really going to realize, okay, there was something that there's some truth that needs to be said. There are some truths that need to be out there. After the 15th, on the 29th, then you start, like, through that process, you start getting these ideas like, okay, so how am I going to get the truth? How am I going to figure this out? How am I going to take care of this? When you go and figure it out, you're going to realize, hey, I need to stay. Like, I'm locked in. Like, I need to realize, like, what happened, because I can't turn back there. There's no avenue. I need to really learn what happened here. So I'm going to come back, and I'm going to, you know, this was heartbreaking. This was hurtful, but I need to at least get the conclusion of what had happened. And that is kind of what mid-May to the beginning of June was going to feel like for you. And so once you realize, like, I need to stay, I need to figure what this out is, then you'll rush into really figuring out and knowing what it is. You'll actually you'll finally take the actions that were needed to be taken, so that way things will go back into the order that they needed to go in. But there are things that you had to be more open about. There were things that were not justified. There were things that were not fair. There was compromises that were not made. There was things that were not expressed from you and the other person, that really, like, in a genuine way, in a vulnerable way, not in a way where you're crying and attacking, or the other person's crying and attacking, but in a really, really, like, sincere, genuine, like, you know, genuine way of taking actions. After you take your actions, then you're going to realize, okay, there's this that needs to be done, there's that and that needs to be done. You're going to start feeling that ample of fire again, okay? But I need you to understand that as you starting to see all these alliances back up again, as they start coming back into your life again, understand that if you receive truth and you're shutting out people, but there's really no justice for it, there needs to be some justice done. Like, if you feel like you're being shunned out now too. So but before you do that, there needs to be a communication. Like, there is a missing piece of an element that you still have not investigated. So but it's through conversation. It's not through, like, snooping. You're gonna get it through conversation, but it's through the feeling of being able to be vulnerable, truthful, and sincere, and actually having, like, an action plan of where this is going to lead you. Because this person that you had a lot of communication with, this person was a very business oriented person. This person was going to be a muse for you. This person was going to ample more business for you, especially if you ever wanted to have business by yourself. This person had inspired you like a hot air balloon at one point. So if you don't have that communication in your life, yeah, of course you're going to feel out in the cold. Because you were always used to this person amplifying you and making you feel good. But there's more things that you need to talk about. There's more things that need to be expressed. And there's some things that you need to understand and accept, my dear. But at the end of the month, I have the Ace of Swords. You will have a very, very, very good outcome at the end of the month. But you're going to notice that you are expressing exactly what you need to say, but you're also going to notice that there's two sides of things, and I want you to take your blinds off. And I want you to accept the two energies and be able to understand that they can be merged, that there's not any more waiting. You're not going to wait anymore, that these two new energies will have to merge, because otherwise you're going to have that feeling of being left out in the cold, and it's not a very desirable feeling. It's a time to kick ourselves back up. It's a time to get more energy. It's a time to be able to, like, feel like we're alive again. It's the time of adventure, and if you cannot make this energy pass through you, that adventure will not start. So if you want your adventure to start, you need to go and find that person that you were supposed to communicate with, so that way doors are open. Hopefully I'll see you at the end of the month. You guys take care. Make sure you guys get the communication done as soon as you can. At the end of the month, I will have a culmination for all the signs, and then I will see you again next month, and it starts getting more and more exciting. I want to bring all the celebrations back into your life. So if you've been feeling like a cold outcast, it's about time you make that conversation, especially for your mama or other mothers, or if you're a mother. I want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day. I love you guys. God bless. Take care, and peace and harmony for everyone.